Hi, I'm Judy Kerr, and I'm glad you're watching. We're going to be talking about actors working in Florida. It's a very large market, mainly Miami, and I'm talking to Lisa Bunbury of Actors Info Booth. Hi.
Hi, Judy.
I'm glad you came all the way here. Usually, I of course see you in Florida.
Yes, but it is so exciting to be with you today.
That's great. And so Fort Lauderdale, North Miami, and where else do people work in Florida?
Oh, wow. Well, the big markets in Florida are Miami, South Beach. Then there's some things happening in Fort Lauderdale. And then there's some a little pot of acting and things happening in the Orlando, Central Florida area, too.
Okay. Now, you have a newsletter, Actors Info Booth, a free email newsletter, and people subscribe from all over the world, which was surprising to me. And you list casting notices and auditions, and this morning I just opened an email, you were congratulating everybody who had booked things. So it seems like kind of a tight, much smaller community, of course, in Los Angeles. So
yes, definitely, and we absolutely love to celebrate the actors that are working, and we send it out once a week. It goes out to over 6,000 people, and it's absolutely free, of course, and we list auditions that they can get, what's happening in the industry, if there's a film festival, and then we put bookings. If people book work, we celebrate that and let them know, because the agents and everyone in town reads it. And then also we offer workshops that they can get as well.
Well, talking about Florida is a right-to-work state.
Right.
So you don't have to belong to the union.
No. No.
And do they prefer that you don't belong to the union, or?
Actually, you can definitely book more work that way, because you can multi-list with several agents. You can have more than
it's not
one
like
agent.
Los Angeles.
Exactly. So I personally, I'm also an actor, so I have about 5 or 6 agents all across the state that book me on different things. So if I don't hear from one in a week, I'm hearing from the other. So it's really beneficial, and there's more non-union work in the state. So it is helpful to an actor in Florida to not be union at the time.
I see.
So.
And Lisa works a lot. And so what type of work do you do? I know you do infomercials and industrials.
I do, and I do commercials. I also do films, some short films. There's some really fun student films that happen there. There's a great film school in Orlando, as well as some wonderful things happening out of University of Miami.
Work must be big.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of print work as well. There's a lot of fabulous hotels and different companies, and so there's a lot of work to be had.
Yeah. And actors do make a living in Florida.
Yeah, they do.
And so, of course, one of the things I do when I go to Florida with Actors Info Booth is I talk about making the move to Los Angeles. And because eventually, of course, if you've really saturated that Florida market, then people do want to move to Los Angeles, or at least try and get work here.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that we just did a workshop a couple of weeks ago, and Denise George, my great computer person, has helped me put together this little DVD of the actors who were there, who signed the agreement to release and let us use their footage.
Oh, fun.
And they're each going to be with 3 scenes. And for the first 2 scenes, they're holding scripts. You may not see the scripts because they're underneath. They did get the scripts ahead of time and did prepare them, but they were still holding them like they were doing an audition. And the third piece is a monologue. And so they had to prepare that fully. So maybe we should just go ahead and watch that.
Let's take a look.
Oh, I did want to, before we shoot that, I did want to say, who are the agents in Florida that people sign up with? You said you have 5 or 6 agents.
Oh, yes, and some of the really strong agents in Florida, and this doesn't include all of them, but just a small handful. There's Stellar Talent Agency. There's also Wilhelmina, which is on South Beach, and there's also Martin and Donald's, 3 great agencies that you can get connected with, and 2 of the big casting directors right now that are really booking a lot of the work is Universal Casting, Carlos, is wonderful there. And Lori Wyman casting, Lori Wyman, of course, she did all the Miami Vice stuff back in the 80s, and she gets a lot of great work that comes through there. So
people can submit their pictures, the Florida actors can, and I imagine there's other actors from out of state.
There
as
are,
well,
yeah,
coming into the Florida market.
Oh, absolutely. We have actors that we've seen come through, you know, getting information from us from Ireland, Brazil, Mexico. It's very international in Miami, which is fantastic for people coming to film and do things because you can get such a flavor of all sorts of cultures.
Right.
It's really great.
Okay, well now, Mark, if you will air that DVD for us of some actors in Florida.
Still a John Doe?
Juan Doe now. Any turbulence in the local Latino gangs?
You making for a banger?
I don't know.
Tats?
Not that I saw.
No tats, no gangster. Them cats make my nut. No way. Speaking of advantages, how about you and I take advantage of that jacuzzi that I saw in the bathroom?
Oh, why, Joe, you're ready for another round of action already?
What can I say? Older women really get my engine revved.
Joe, if you ever again refer to me as an older woman, this little liaison will be our last.
What does that mean?
It means women don't like to be told they're old.
No. What does liaison mean? Yeah. I got the coolest job in the world. You just better hope that our phone never rings and someone drops us your name.
I'm not supposed to give out these tapes.
I was hoping you'd make an exception in this super special case. I can copy the tape and bring the original right back.
I'm sorry, I really don't think I can do that.
Okay, you know what? I have my niece's confirmation gift here. It's $1,000. I'll give you $1,000 for that tape right now.
He's still such a goof. And yet, those great abs. When did that happen?
He's got a lot of time on his hands now. He's always on his bike or running or doing something that won't get him a job.
He was a scrawny kid in high school. You ever wonder what he'd be like in bed?
No.
I thought this guy was going to be the love of my life. But I've about had it. Sports. It's all he ever thinks about. He's possessed. I knew at first he was into games, but I never suspected anything like this. On our first date, he insisted I come back to his apartment. When I got there, he showed me his collection of baseball cards.
Where do I find him?
I don't know. He came by the track one day, and I haven't seen him since.
I need a flatbed tow truck.
You can't take my car.
It's not your car.
I paid for it.
Well, you got ripped off.
So the plot thickens. To him. But, then you know a lot of men, don't you, Miss Summers?
Is that supposed to be some kind of insult?
Not at all. I'm just wondering who this mystery guy is you're meeting.
It's Carlos, okay? I'm supposed to meet Carlos here. But it looks like he's a no-show.
I find that hard to believe. Do you know that Uncle Sam can look into your life, your private life? Open up the doors to closets you don't want to open at all. Anytime he wants, anywhere he wants.
I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm not supposed to give out these tapes.
I was hoping you'd make an exception in this super special case. I can copy the tape and bring the original right
I'm really
back.
sorry. I'm not going to be able to help you today.
Okay, you know what? I have my niece's confirmation gift. It's $1,000. I'll give you $1,000 for that tape right now.
Who made, the first move?
Well, it was kind of mutual. I mean, we were talking, and I started thinking, he's clean, he won't kill me, he'll come to my room. And that's pretty good these days.
So, what, called him? Like,
it just happened. I don't know. I'm cute when I want to be. I know some things.
okay, so you just
Like you did it in your parents' house? What? Goodbye. And for the record, all of that stuff about being in love with you, I didn't make it up. It wasn't for the investigation.
Who the hell are you?
The pissed off guy who owns the car you just blew up.
It was stolen?
Yeah?
I didn't know, I swear. The guy told me he could get a classic Camaro.
What guy?
It goes by Rick.
What's his last name?
That's all I have.
Where do I find him?
I don't know, he showed up at the track one day. I haven't seen him since. Look, Charlie, you don't have to apologize for telling me what you think about situations. I don't need a yes man as an assistant.
That's good to know.
You only need to apologize when you don't tell me what's on your mind. I value your opinion, Charlie.
Even though you don't always agree with it, right?
Right, but that doesn't make it any less valuable. So Alice calls and tells me she's found the perfect place. Only it won't be free for another 6 months. But that's okay, she says, because we could stay in the studio in the meantime. I ask, what about Psyche? And she says I could find someone to take care of her for 6 months. 6 months? I know Psyche's not gonna like that.
Ivan Throckmorton?
Are you a family member?
She's his girlfriend. Not really. We've been intimate a few times, but it's not happening again.
You don't have to have a seat in the waiting room.
Mom, it's been what, 3 years?
Is it really?
Oh, you're right, 5.
I heard you went insane.
No, it was a huge misunderstanding, but that's not why you're here.
Of course not. It's not my problem if you lose your mind or your fiancé.
I'm still working on Richard.
I don't know why you're working on that. That's a lost cause. You're too old already. That's a lost opportunity. I can always forgive you. But I can never forget. So, I never want to see you again. I don't want you calling and leaving voicemail messages. I don't want you calling and hanging up. I've moved on in my life. I don't need you anymore.
It's my first day. I'm a tour guide, which is great because I can learn everything about the studio from the ground on up, so I'll be ready.
For what?
To run the studio one day?
Well, all right.
So anyway, I'd like to take that room if it's still available. So why are you here in South Beach, Mom?
Walter and I got divorced.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Me too. That bastard wasn't worth a dime. Left me with nothing. And after all that time together,
It was 11 months.
well, that's a long time. I've come to South Beach to see my 5th ex-husband.
Oh, really?
I doubt he has anything either. From what I've read lately, his business hasn't been doing that well.
You read the paper? I came out here with the intentions of making it because I think I have some talent. And if I don't, after a fair shot, I'm back in Fort Lauderdale working Euro Cafe. I may not be working right now. I may not be up for a series, but definitely not up for you. Not now, not ever.
You making for a banger?
I don't know.
Tats?
Not that I saw.
No tats, no gangster.
Have you been going into my email account?
Why would you ask that?
Some of these emails have been tagged as having been opened.
So?
So this is the first time I'm reading them.
Well, even if I did want to go through your emails, Richard, I don't have your password.
I know. Nobody does.
Well, then I don't know what to tell you. I hope you don't have a hacker looking into your life.
So do I, Charlie. So do I.
My bachelor days were as good as done. The plan was, while I was down here, Alex would start looking for a house. It had to be big enough for Psyche, my dog, who's very sweet, but she's a bit touchy about change. It's a bit much for her in certain respects. So Alex calls and he tells me that he's found the perfect place, only it won't be free for another 6 months.
Hey, do you know where I can find Tommy LaChance?
Auriculating about the house, right? I'm Tommy. You work on the lot?
Yeah, first day. I'm a tour guide, which is really great because I want to learn everything from the grown on up, so I'll be ready. Is that supposed to be some kind of insult?
No, not at all. I'm just wondering who this mystery man is you're supposedly meeting is.
It's Carlos, okay? I'm supposed to meet Carlos here, but it looks like he's a no-show. Got it? If I ever do make it in this business, whatever making it is, and I'm beginning to wonder about that altogether, I'll make it on my feet, not horizontal.
Ivan Throckmorton.
Right here.
Mr. Throckmorton, what are you here for?
He's Ivan Throckmorton with the clipboard and with the ice pack.
Fill out the forms and bring them to the window.
So it'll just be a few minutes and we'll take him in?
You should make yourself comfortable.
Hi, I'm looking for a patient. Ivan Throckmorton.
Are you a family member?
She's his girlfriend. Not really. We've been intimate a few times, but it's not happening again.
You'll have to have a seat in the lobby. So goodbye, and I won't forget you. And for the record, that whole thing about falling in love with you, that was no act. It was not part of the assignment and nothing I planned. I'm not that good.
I'm not supposed to give these tapes out.
Well, I was hoping you might make an exception in this super special case. I could copy the tape and bring the original right back.
I'm sorry. I really can't do this.
Okay, you know what? I have my niece's confirmation gift here. It's $1,000. I'll give you $1,000 for the tape right now.
This is sick, you know that?
Do you want the money or not?
Well, it was kind of mutual. You know, we were sitting and talking, and I just started thinking, he's clean, he won't kill me, he don't come to my room. So that's pretty good these days.
So you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, hey, you know, I can be cute when I want to be. I know some things.
And your parents were at the house?
Yeah, girl, we had to put a pillow on the floor, up against the door. We did it on the floor, try to keep the accidental barge-in from happening.
But was it like you were dating?
No, him, please. He may never get a job. It was just physical. But to answer your question, homie does know his way around the sack. Our relationship was so beautiful. It was perfect. I don't think you even really know just how powerful it was. You changed my life. You were that person for me. But then you just got so busy. And I guess that's when I realized I wasn't going to be that person for you. No, I'm sorry. I can never go back to loving you the way I did before you cheated on me.
Well, that was great fun watching the actors.
Those clips were fantastic. Wow.
Didn't she do a good job editing those?
Amazing.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah, she is.
Wow.
And she, bled them in, not bled, fade.
Yeah,
Fade in
yeah.
and fade out and all that.
Yeah.
I had done the rough cut, but of picking out the clips that I wanted.
And
but
just the right pieces. I loved it.
Was it really the right pieces?
It was perfect.
Oh, good. Yeah. And so you know all those people. Now, and I do want to say, of course, that was a hotel room.
Right.
What do they call it? A little banquet room?
Yeah.
Where we did the
workshops. Yeah.
The mic was on the camera.
It's not professional lighting.
No, certainly not.
Right.
And no one really had makeup. They knew that we
Right.
were going to be shooting.
Yeah.
But so please take it in all that context.
They're also working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't it amazing how much you can tell about an actor in 30 seconds.
So much. You don't need 5-10 minutes. You get an instinct and a feeling from them off of just those pieces. You can really get a flavor for all of them. It's really incredible.
Right, and what they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
So, tell me what your acting life is like in Florida, like on a daily basis or a weekly basis. What might you be doing?
Well, one thing that I've discovered, I became a full-time actor about 2 years ago, is that you have to really work it. You have to work for yourself. You have to be out there doing things
How
to
do you
really
do that?
actively
what do you
market. Postcards. I love postcards. Keeping in touch with your agents, not necessarily all the time by phone, but sending a postcard with your face. Hey, guess what I just booked? Can't wait to hear from you. Or just took a great workshop with Judy Kerr. Or just booked a voiceover. So they know that you are actively out there doing things, and when they know you're booking, they want to call you in.
Now you have great headshots, and I know in the book I recommend Bob Lasky,
Yes.
and I know there's other photographers down there.
There are, yeah.
But every time that I've had an actor come to me for career coaching or something who's moved here from Florida and they have Bob's pictures, they work in Los Angeles.
They're top notch. He's very creative. He really kind of captures a person's feel, if they're edgy, if they're kind of the corporate look, young mom, whatever it is.
So you're using all the types of headshots in Florida, certainly color,
absolutely,
and, that we use in Los Angeles.
Most definitely, and the commercial shots, the drama, three-quarter corporate, whatever it is. If it's styling and it's a sideways shot, we use those in Florida as well. And they play, they cross over to Los Angeles too. So that's really great.
Great. And so you said you did your postcards, you study, you
postcards, yes, and then also look for work for yourself. It's always about continuing to exercise that acting muscle. So student films, I recommend those as you can put the time in. You can get them off of our free newsletter. We send it out once a week. Or if you get connected, there's lots of wonderful websites or groups that you can connect with where you can find out what's happening in the community, because there's tons of student films going on. Some of them you even get paid for. And you can really get connected. And then making those connections gets you more work. You meet a director from this one. I can't tell you how much repeat work I get each year. I continue to build that because they remember me from this set, your work ethic, your professionalism, and then they call you in for their next project, and then now you're getting direct bookings. So you start to really build a solid, career for yourself and establish yourself in that market as a professional, strong actor who's continuing to train and takes their craft seriously.
Wow.
So it's really good. So the postcards, business cards, I recommend. I keep a stack of those with me all the time because I meet people in the most random places. And does your business card have your picture on it? Picture, and then actor, voiceover, hosting, which are the things that I focus on, my email address and my phone number. And they're in color. And I, depending on what your strong suit is or what you're looking for, I recommend that you put a smiling photo on your business cards as well. Right, right. So, and what about, so there's voiceovers also in Florida. Yes. And what, radio or? Radio, television. Right now I'm doing a voiceover spot for a couple of commercials. And radio, television. Is there animation? Animation, there narration. Is. Really? Yeah, we have a couple of friends that did voices for various cartoons in town. So there is a lot of exciting work to be had in the voice market as well. So when you go on an audition, you have to drive usually a great distance, or? Yeah, the auditions, depending on where you live, I'm pretty much in the Fort Lauderdale area, so most of the castings are down on South Beach, so that's about a 45-minute drive. So I'm on the road a little bit. South Beach. Yes, that South Beach. Fun. And so do you go down there and go to those clubs? And I'm not much of a club person, but I do love the cute little cafes for a nice coffee, tea, or a little light lunch, Yes. So looking at the water, it's gorgeous. So I do enjoy that. So it's, you can make it a day, and then you're always running into the actors that are in your category that you've bonded with, and then you can have a little, lunch, compare notes, what are you up to, what's going on, and you get work that way too. So it is a small community. It is, it is. I know everyone when I go into a room on a casting. It's like, hey, how you doing, what's going on? Or they recognize me from, our free newsletter from Actors Info Booth, so, so yeah. And you're also close to Hollywood.
and which there is a Hollywood, Florida,
There
right next to Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
And there, I know Mark Dussault
Yes.
is over there in Hollywood at the Arts Academy, and that's
Arts
a big
Academy.
dance studio.
Yes,
And a big,
and you can get a lot of interesting training there as well, and he instructs there too. So there's so many creative outlets and opportunities in South Florida that people are able to take advantage of. It's really neat.
wow, wow.
A lot of
And
fun.
so, what are you doing out here in Los Angeles?
Oh, well, Los Angeles. Well, my sister, my best friend, and my partner in Actors Info Booth, we're both out here for an extended period of time because we're trying to kind of divide our time between here and Florida, building bridges, meeting new instructors to bring in, and just we've developed some wonderful friendships with people in the industry. So we're just, out here visiting, and, I'm also looking to do a little work as well.
Yes, so you've signed up for our casting
Yes,
websites here.
yes.
And you're submitting yourself.
Exactly.
Oh, good.
So I'm really blessed to have the freedom to kind of move back and forth between Florida and LA. So we're taking advantage of that right now and trying to also, kind of put down a couple of roots here in Los Angeles as well.
Right. And what about the casting websites? Have you found some things on there to submit for?
Yes, there are some things. So I've been doing some submissions there too, and feeling very optimistic about that.
Now, did you get yourself a local phone number when you came here to do that?
I did. That was a wonderful recommendation from Miss Judy,
Hello.
which I thank you for that.
Yes.
Yes, I got a local phone number because I think that's very important.
So it seems like you live here.
Exactly, to be professional and be taken seriously. That
Right.
they can contact you here and know that you're going to be available locally.
Right. Okay, well, we're at the end of the show.
I know. Already? It's been so much fun.
I know. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope if you're not going to be working in Florida, you'll recommend the show to someone else who is interested in this. And it's always fun to see what actors are doing in other areas.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, and please continue to tune in. And we're going to continue on talking while they run the credits. My email address is in the credits. If you have any questions for me, please email me and put Cable Show in the subject line, and I'll pick it out of my junk mail. So,
wonderful, yes.
What were we just saying?
We were just talking about the fact that I'm going to be doing some great work here
Oh,
in
right,
Los Angeles.
right. And so you got your local phone number.
My local phone number.
And of course you are submitting online.
Right, and updated the headshots as well. And I went into a casting office and dropped off some of my headshots.
You did?
Yes.
I love that.
So, just trying to network and, keep in touch with all of the potential, people that can help me out. Might as well do that and take advantage.
Right. And you're such a perfect type.
Oh,
I mean, you need to be on Boston Legal and Grey's Anatomy. And, because you're dramatic, but you're a little funny, a little quirky. And that scene that you did in the tape of pointing out those different